Hi Kipsters, today is September 11th, 2020. It is day 14, and you are in your ELA independent lesson. This independent lesson will cover Chapter 4 of Fever. Our objective is that Kipsters will be able to identify key details from the text. You should have already completed your Do Now, which is where you wrote an answer to the question, what have you learned about yellow fever so far? For this Do Now, you want to make sure to have full sentences in your answer. Later on, as you answer questions within the text, you do not need to write full sentences. You're now in the Intro to the Lesson section. You should have clicked on this video here to get to this place. There are two questions you're going to answer after watching this video. The first is, what should you look for to make sure you've answered all the questions in the text? And the second is, what can you click on to see if all your missing work at once? We're going to address the first question first. That's going to help us preview this assignment today. So after the intro to the lesson, you're going to go directly into Fever 1793. I see on the side here my first clue that you have a question you need to answer or something you need to do. When things are highlighted in yellow, this bright yellow on the side, that means that you need to take action. That was your clue for the Do Now. That's your clue for the intro to the lesson questions, and it's going to be the same when you see our text questions on the side of the chapter. Now this one says totally optional here, so listening to the audio is not something you have to do. If you choose to do it, which I suggest, please make sure you're reading along with the text, because the only way that you're going to improve as a reader is if you're listening while keeping your eyes on the text. Underneath it, I have my first question. Notice how it does not say optional anywhere. Listening to the audio is optional, answering the questions is not. So I have my big first clue that this is a question I need to answer because there are highlighted directions there. To make it even easier to spot, especially as we have a lot going on with the text itself, I gave you a second big clue that this is an answer or question to answer. And that's the yellow outline box to the side. So your two big clues are the highlighting of the directions and the yellow box around our question. There's also a little symbol here to draw your attention to the question itself. This one is a multiple choice question. You're going to use the Shapes tool to mark your answer. Underneath it, I see some highlighted words that are not highlighted in yellow, nor do they have a yellow box. These are not questions to answer. These are tools to help you as you read. They're vocabulary or information that's going to help your understanding of the story. Now I see another yellow box with yellow highlighting underneath it or in it. This one actually asks you to highlight text evidence that shows that grandfather likes to gossip. Notice how there's no space in this yellow box because you're going to answer it by actually highlighting the text. I'm going to look in this space here next to the question, so it could be anywhere on this page, for your highlighted text evidence. As I go down, I see another type of question where it has both a text box and markup. That's where you're going to answer the question in your own words underneath in the space here. And then also use the markup tool to highlight your text evidence. So instead of typing up all of your evidence to support your answer here, you're going to get a chance to highlight it in the text. Once I get to the bottom of my first read of this chapter, I want to go back and make sure that I am getting to all of the questions on the side, answering them carefully. Remember, my first read is when I'm first annotating, gisting, getting the basic idea of the story. My second idea is when I'm going to go and make sure that I've answered all of these questions on the side. Once I've completed those first two reads, I can click on the comment here to get to my exit ticket. That's where I'll use all that I've read to put it together to answer that big questions. So now let's go back to our intro to the lesson. The first question is, what should you look for to make sure you have answered all the questions in the text? The options are highlighted directions, box with yellow outlines, and both highlighted directions and yellow boxes. Your answer that you should choose is this last one, both highlighted directions and yellow boxes. Both are clues that you have a question you need to answer. Now the second part is what can you click on to see all of your missing work at once? This is more big picture for ELA. Next week, you are going to have your first progress reports come out. I want to make sure that you all have the highest grades possible to start off our year. So I'm going to show you how to see all of your missing work at once in all of your classes so that you can make sure to make up anything you are missing before progress reports come out next week. I would suggest working on missing assignments today and tomorrow if you need to. Now I've switched over to a Google Classroom homepage. This is a student's Google Classroom. Instead of clicking on each assignment individually here, I'm going to click on this button that says To Do. Again, I'm going to click on this button that says To Do. When I do that, it'll give me a summary of my work in all of my classes. These are just for the assignments that you need to turn in. This is not where you would find Nearpods. So now I see Assigned. These are 2 things that are upcoming due. I haven't missed them yet, but I should be working on them now. If I click on the tab next to it, I can see all of my missing work at once. This student only has 2 missing assignments from this week and has completed all their work last week. I know that from the 0 and from the weeks before. I know that from the 0 here. This student wants to get these 2 assignments done today. I can also click on Done to see all of my assignments in all my classes at once, see which ones are turned in, which one have grade back, but these are not as useful because it mixes up my classes. I would suggest using this for Assigned and Missing, especially in this missing part, to make sure that you have all of your work in. One more time to get here, I clicked To Do. I can see it right here on my page, or click my 3 lines to go here. Then I clicked on Missing, and that showed me all my missing assignments. I can also stay on Assigned to see all the stuff I have to work on today. Now that we've gone through your classwork for today and how to make sure you have missing assignments, it's time to start your work. If you have any questions, please make sure you're chatting me or texting me with them.